This mostly affects mostly students, children who are going to school, who have friends and stuff like that at school. We all see it either in the movies or we actually see it in real life. Some of your story why the danger that actually comes when you're trying to fit into a group of friends who don't really care about you. Because if you're gonna be somebody's friend, you should be somebody who watch over and becomes the protection the person needs, sometimes from themselves. You have to be the guy who becomes the protection for the person, even from themselves. But I was just trying to fit in. The third time I was caught. And if you remember, by then I think that was around the 2007, 2006 season. And I think that has really not have changed really, but if you're caught stealing, no any black parent, I know this everywhere all over the world, no any black parent will ever want to raise a thief in their house. What you have to take as a lesson if you're watching the little kid, nothing that happens, you can never achieve anything in life if you do it in the wrong way. I'm talking in stealing or what, you can never find either joy or you can never even achieve whatever you think you will achieve by stealing. Try to do things the right way, always value as a person. Don't ever do anything out of character trying to fit in. It never works. Don't try to fit in. Don't ever try to lose yourself to satisfy other people. So when I tell hello guys, welcome back to another video. This is Sam and we are back again with another one as we are continuing with the story that I started last week, and I think this is the last part of it. I'm just gonna give you my thoughts and why sometimes it's okay when you feel like you don't fit in, why you should always maybe embrace the fact that you feel like people are always far away from you. I have few things that I'm gonna talk about, and I'm just gonna tell you that small story that I always tell you about me and how you get to learn a lot about yourself. So I'm only talking about the people who are, some go through this at work. I'm not saying that anyone cannot actually understand what I'm talking about here, but I'm saying this mostly affects mostly students, children who are going to school, who have friends and stuff like that at school. We all see it either in the movies or we actually see it in real life. Somehow, somewhere we have experienced this thing in our lives. As we go forward, that you would see that there's always that person that nobody wants to even join in with or even want to communicate with. You just feel like you're the one who was always thrown away. So that happens to anyone. So I'm gonna give you a story why the danger that actually comes when you're trying to fit into a group of friends who don't really care about you. Because if you're gonna be somebody's friend, you should be somebody who watch over and becomes the protection the person needs, sometimes from themselves. You have to be the guy who becomes the protection for the person, even from themselves. But you find that in life sometimes things don't really go according to what you think could happen, or things goes in another. You can't even give an idea or an understanding over where things are facing really bad. Sometimes things never go the way everyone expects them to, and it's okay, to be honest. If things don't go the way you expect them to do, it's okay. But we'll talk about it. Let's talk about fitting in. So I've talked about this before, like I told you on my TikTok. So when I was young, I think I was at the age of 8, 9. I think around the age of 8, 9. So I've always loved playing football. Whether I was good at that time or not, I always loved to play football. So, and around those time when I was in Zim, it was happening that if you are a good football player as a kid, you should either have an academy or maybe a team in the community that you are participating under. You should have a team in the community where you are playing and you're doing so much. So usually those teams were headed by our elders. For example, the one who was heading the team that I was in, that I was playing as part of, was actually at the age of, I think it was 14, So imagine I was an 8-year, 9-year-old kid, 9-year-old could be, and I was playing with a kid who was 14 years old. So the age is not really a problem, but what happened was this. Other teams were really, you could see things happening. Maybe they were also with children where the higher class or upper class parents where they would buy school, they would buy them the jerseys for the whole team, they would buy new interesting footballs, and when we come and we play with them, while we're playing with them, we're not even wearing anything, we're just wearing our different clothes, and we just have to play because we have nothing. They have got some football boots which they wear, and I don't even have anything. I'm just using my own feet. So you'd understand that most of the time you'd play, and I remember at some of the worst grounds we used to play, I would get another friend of mine's shoe, so he would wear the right shoe because he was right-handed, and I would wear the left shoe because I was left-handed, so that either when I'm kicking the ball, it's easy for me to control with the leg that has a shoe. And this was not even a football boot, it was just a normal shoe that I was just wearing by then. And because of that, you'd come and say to your parents, I want football shoes and stuff like that. I'll tell you, we don't have money. We're really struggling to do this thing. And by that time, my parents were living in Botswana and I was here. So it was really difficult for me to communicate with. And the people were looking out for me. I was living in my grandmother's house. It was hard for me to even try by almost to reach her, even to do something to ask her, because she was even struggling to find the food we were eating there. So this guy came up with an idea. I'm talking about the elder guy. I'm not gonna mention him by name. That is gonna be weird. And he said, "You know what you can do? We're talking about me and the other kid that I was with, because we were the only kids where we had like tuck shop where they sell food, we sell things to the community. Those small shops that are always close to the houses, and they're like, why can't you steal money from your uncles?" From me, mine was my uncle, and that one was his mother. And when from your mother, so that we try to save this money to buy a ball for our team, and just do some things. And those were the days, those weird chewing gums that had tattoos on them, and would just to celebrate with those. I remember, because I wanted to fit in, because it felt like there was an option. If we don't do it, we are out of the team, and we are the only ones who could do it because we had the family where we had an easy source to get the money. So I did it. Stole something from my grandparents and my uncle especially, and it affected him, but I did not notice. I was just a kid. Just continue. I did it the first time, and this boy did it, and I remember we celebrated. He bought a box of those chewing gums with tattoos, and the people he was sharing with the team and stuff like that. And I think we did it again the second time, and I did not like what I was doing, but I was just trying to fit in. The third time I was caught. And if you remember, by then I think that was around 2007, 2006 in Zim. And I think that has really not have changed really, but if you're caught stealing, no any black parent, I know this everywhere all over the world, no any black parent will ever want to raise a thief in their house. And I've been caught stealing, and my uncle has been saying the bookwork has not been making sense. Have you been stealing money? I don't even know how much I was stealing, but I know I was taking something. It was crazy, people. The funny part, out of the money we stole, 3 on, then the other kid actually did almost about 4 times. One, the ball that we were being promised that they were gonna buy a ball for the community, it was never done. We kept on making those plastic balls as the football we were using in the field. The only thing that was bought were those chappies and those chewing gums with tattoos, and only. And so you find that at the end of the day, you spend the whole entire time doing something that is unlike you, out of your character, trying to fit into a group of people, which you don't even achieve what you're doing. So one thing that you have to take as a lesson, if you're watching this as a kid, nothing that happens, you can never achieve anything in life if you do it in the wrong way. I'm talking in stealing or what. You can never find either joy, or you can never even achieve whatever you think you will achieve by stealing. Try to do things the right way always. That's my advice to you. But what I'm saying is that after what we did, nothing happened. While I'm in trouble, I remember that some night my father beat me. And I remember the next week, the firstborn of my grandfather, I went to his house, he beat me as well. My father came from Botswana 2 months later and was beaten again. So 3 people beat me, which, when you think about it, I saw 3 times and 3 times, so it makes sense. But I was punished because of stealing, because I was trying to fit into a group. After that, I told this guy that I'm done. And that's when I left the group of that football game, and I was like done. And with the pain that I actually experienced, because this is serious spanking, people, not what you hear, I'm gonna spank you or you're going to win a timeout. This was serious. They don't play around in Africa, they beat. When you talk about beating, they beat. So that's what happened to me. And that was my first time being beaten by my father. My whole entire life, he has only beaten me once. But he was never going to accept a child who is a thief. And at the age I was, if I had continued doing this, stealing, where do you think I would be in life? So now when I think about it now, after so many years now, I'm just thinking about the direction of life, where my life could have gone if I actually allowed myself to go to that with the way I was looking like, the way I was being led. Who would I have been? What would have happened to me? So it's always important, and I'm going to repeat this to people who are listening. It's always important to understand your value as a person. Don't ever do anything out of character trying to fit in. It never works. Don't try to fit in. Don't ever try to lose yourself to satisfy other people. So when I tell you don't fit in, I know it's hard that you're in school and you have to sit alone because people shame you, or they don't look at you with the same eyes as others. They don't see you like you're worthy, maybe with the way you dress, because you're coming from a family that doesn't really achieve so much, that they're working so hard even to get you something to eat at the end of the day. People look at you with those eyes and you feel like they have to use you. They have to make you do something out of your character. They have to make you hurt other people in terms of you trying to be part of their life. Don't ever put yourself in those situations where you have to sacrifice your own happiness, your own peace of mind. Because after that time, I told myself, I'll never do anything for somebody that will get me in trouble. I will never. I made that a promise in my life. And I'm here to tell you, it doesn't matter where the world, what's happening in the world. You are more and you mean more than you actually think. Don't try to fit into the world. They don't deserve you. That's what I'll tell you. They don't deserve you. If they cannot appreciate you for who you are, then wait. Your kind of people are coming, boy. Your kind of people are coming. And to those people who look at other people with those eyes, trust me, this life is a wheel. Whether you like it or not, it's gonna turn, and people are gonna look at you the way you looked at that other kid a year or years ago. So take heed of this. Look at yourself in the mirror and say to yourself, you're gonna live for you. You're gonna do things for you because you deserve more yourself. Don't do things for other people. Don't get into this peer pressure thing that you end up doing things that are not like you, that takes you off the characteristics of what makes you you, because you are trying to fit in. Don't. That's that's the thing that I'm here for. You end up losing yourself. I told you that if you play a character, because when you're trying to fit in, it means you're going to try to act to be somebody you are not. So if you play a character, you're always finding yourself in those moments where you feel like you don't want to live normal. But if you accept yourself for being you, and you do what you love, and you do what makes you happy, and you will do things that will take you to another level, trust me, this is the best life to live in. There's so much you're going to achieve in this life, but you have to look at yourself in the mirror. You're not going to do what other people expect you to do. You will do what makes you happy. And what makes you happy It's what is important. So don't try to force yourself to fit in. This is a big world. There are so many people in this world. The people that deserves you will find you. So as I come to an end of this topic, I've talked about it for this is now the second week. Look at yourself in the mirror and learn to accept you for being you. If you're weird, it's okay. I want you to be weird. Live your life as weird. It's okay, because that's how God has made you. There's a greater force that made you to be the person you are. Don't try to fit in to become something that you're not, to try to play a character that doesn't even deserve you. Thank you very much for watching. This has been Sam, and I hope you have learned something that is very important. Have an amazing week, have an amazing life, and you deserve better, and you will be a better person. Thank you very much for watching. I'm out. Peace.